ladies and gentlemen. My background is Residential Party. I'm also a spokesman for prisoners in a certain section of McGilligan and those from the County Prison. I've worked tirelessly through the peace process, the Good Friday Agreement, the decommissioning. Some very good stories here today, but I think the backdrop talks about it all about justice. You know, the scales of justice have to be level right across the board. You know, it doesn't matter what background you come from, they have to be level. But recent times within the Loyalist working class community, we have been demonised, victimised. A certain section of the community, I represent the Ulster Volunteer Force, have been demonised by the media. We have seen the recent trial, the supergrass trial, where 13 people were put on trial. The media hyped it up long before these people came to trial. Trial by media. Even whenever the supergrass trial was about to take place, they said that Belfast would burn, Northern Ireland would burn, there would be riots in every town in Northern Ireland because of the supergrass trial. This didn't happen. We had 13 people outside the courthouse to represent each one of the families who were there. But I'm not here to talk about the issues of the points of law. There's more experienced people than that. I'm here to talk about the human side of it, the human effects, the human resource. 13 families suffered. People were incarcerated, some of them for 15 to 18 months. One young man in particular done 15 months on remand. Had no charges, had no background, no criminality whatsoever. And once in 18 months he was able to visit his wife and his 2 children. Once in 18 months he was able to stay with them. So them's the things that we don't see. There was a break-up of marriages, there was a loss of jobs. And the PSNI, these are stories that don't come out. There was one young man who the police trawled in England. That young man originally came from Glengormley. He committed suicide. Them's the facts that don't come out. We've seen a pathetic figure brought forward by the PPS, a man who was a heroin addict, ended up an employee, who was trawled by the RUC, the PSNI, the special branch for to get evidence. A real sorry sight. As I say, what I'm here to talk about is the human side of it. The effects, the knock-on effects that it has within my community. And tell whose aim and whose game would be the supergrass trials and where they're coming from. Who would want to take out of our society the people who helped deliver the peace process, the people who helped deliver the Good Friday Agreement, and the people who helped deliver decommissioning? The people who took the step at a time when it wasn't a thing to do. We were demonised, victimised within our own communities that we were traders or we were sellout merchants. But still with all, the last supergrass trial, we had 2 brothers, the Stewart brothers. And from day one, people knew what they were. These were people who were drug addicts, alcoholics, had robbed of their own mother and father, and stole £2,500 and went on a spree to England, and then decided to come back and give evidence against 13 people. Is that justice? But what was seen was a sham, was a mockery that took place within that courthouse. But the suffering of the families, the people who didn't see their families. And then there was another case within that, a man called Rob Warney. God rest him. Him and his wife were also mentioned in part of that. And Rob had a letter from Mo Mullen stating that the good work that he had done during the peace process. Rob's wife had cancer, and Rob went to the hospital with her. And Rob was diagnosed with cancer as well. They had booked a holiday with their friends. 2 friends wanted to go on a holiday. And I sat in on the appeal with them, and they were turned down. A year later, Rob Warney and his wife are dead with cancer. So them's the human side of things. We also have had other cases that are coming out of the HET. I have sat on many cases with people in the HET. One in particular, I'm not mentioning them. And they come out, the paperwork and reads it to the lady. There you are. I says that's not acceptable. We're not accepting that. We want 6 booklets, and we want to go through them. You can back to us in a month. And the discrepancies that we found within that report left a lot to be desired. 1 minute. That's discrimination. But what I'm saying is, these are the things that are happening, and justice has to be justice. But my community has been demonised and has been victimised. But it goes right across. And when we talk about it, I have listened to people here talking about trial, about special branch and handlers and other things. I want to know who the handlers are on both sides. I want to know who the handlers are. We went to all the political parties and one certain political party, which I'm not mentioning, but you'll know who I'm saying. When I said to them, our today is your tomorrow. You only paid lip service to us. But we talk about trials and we talk about other things. And a trial by media. There's a young man sitting down there at Callan who has no record whatsoever. There's a Sunday Word. Week after week after week after week, the demonisation of him and other members of my community. And I know this happens on both sides, but it's not acceptable. But who are these people answered to? Who is the PSNI? Who is the handlers that they have within both sections of our community? As I said, I want to know who the handlers are within the Loyalist side. I want to know who the handlers are within the Republican side, because it has cost lives. But regarding this paper here, who do they answer to? They answer to no one. They have put people in the grave. I'm getting a lot of that here. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much.